everybody, welcome to the Brooklyn Knitfolk YouTube channel. My name is Jacqueline. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as @JacquelineSalem, and this is episode 32 of the Brooklyn Knitfolk podcast, where I talk about crafty projects that I'm doing, usually related to knitting, sewing, home projects, whatever I get up to. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're a new viewer, hello, and if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back to check out my podcast. Show notes can be found for this podcast and all the other episodes in the Ravelry group, which you can find on Ravelry by searching for Brooklyn Knitfolk Podcast in the Groups tab. And I think that's all the stuff you need to know. I hope you guys enjoyed the last episode featuring my beyond adorable, if I do say so myself, nephew, Maverick. I was at home visiting my family in Tennessee and decided to record a podcast while I was there. But I am back home in New York City now, and if you heard about the green couch, this is it, by the way. You know you're getting old when you're falling in love with your couch, or falling in love with a new couch, as Katie from Inside Number 23 has said. Yeah, I just got this couch and I am in love with it. It's amazing. So I guess now we can get on with the podcast, or get on with the finished objects and such. There are several things that you guys have sent me in the mail to give away as prizes, so stay tuned to the end where I'm going to show you everything. I'm not going to put all of it up at once to like overwhelm you guys, so I'll just kind of slowly release them over time, but stay tuned to the end to find out what the giveaways are. And if you want to enter to win the giveaways, definitely join the Ravelry group. So you'll want to subscribe to the channel and then join the Ravelry group, which is where you can find out how to win all these awesome prizes like yarn, project bags, patterns. Like, that's all the stuff that I have right now, but it's amazing. So definitely subscribe to the channel and to the Ravelry group to enter to win a bunch of really beautiful things that you guys are making. So with that, finished objects, I'm looking around for it like I don't know where it is, but I'm like, hello? You guys, it's been a journey, almost a year-long journey. Hi, Jafar. Sweet baby. This is Jafar, in case you don't know. I have two kitties. This one's Jafar, and Mika is over here napping next to me. So, the Heady shawl. It is an almost year-long work in progress, you guys. I'm not kidding. I cast it on at the Washington County Farm and Fiber Tour last year when I attended, and I'm attending again this year, and it was at the end of April. So it was almost a year-long work in progress. I have mixed feelings about the finished object, as I mentioned on Instagram. I'll go over all of that with you guys, but first, for one last time, although I probably will show it again to you next week because it has not got the ends woven in yet, and it has not been blocked, which I'm hoping will solve a lot of the problems that I'm currently having with it. Jafar, get off of my computer. Sorry, cats, you know? What are you gonna do? I'll probably show it to you guys again next week just because I want to show you it blocked and kind of report back on how the blocking went to kind of help or not help the issues I'm having with it. So this is the finished shawl. This is the Heady shawl by Isolde, and it's knit in, my gosh, why am I blanking? Brooklyn tweed. Brooklyn tweed yarn on their shelter base, which is worsted weight, in the Hayloft colorway, and the postcard colorway. I am in love with this yarn. This yarn is what definitely got me through this project. The pattern is knit with the border first, and then you pick up the stitches along the interior and knit the interior section, which is garter stitch. This edging, for me at least, if you really love cables, then go for it. But for me, it was an absolute slog to get through, way before I even got to the center portion. It's lovely, it's beautiful. I still love cables and I probably will knit them, but it's like a scarf. It was an 8-row repeat and it was just so repetitive and boring. I feel like if it was a cabled sweater that I was knitting, I'd be much more into it just because you're doing other things in the sweater, but it's essentially just knitting a cabled scarf the whole way, and it was impossible. There were so many times, you guys, I almost threw in the towel and frogged it when I was probably around this point left of it. I was just like, F it, I can't do it anymore, I'm gonna rip it out, or I'm just never gonna finish it. And luckily, I have a really wonderful group of friends who would just keep encouraging me, like, no, don't give it up, or just put it away for a while, come back to it. And I did finally finish the border, and the day I finished it, it was like, the angels were singing, it was like magical unicorns, whatever fairy tale creatures, they were all like rooting me on, along with you guys. Thank you so much, by the way, because you know what a labor of love this has been. And then I was picking up the stitches for the interior, and then it flew by, obviously. So things I love about the pattern, obviously the yarn, which Brooklyn Tweed, by the way, once you block it, it just totally transforms it, because I felt samples of knit up in Brooklyn Tweed in stores like Pearl Soho and stuff, and it feels completely different than how it feels like when you're knitting with it. It's still one of those kind of woolier wools, but I love it. So something I really love about it is how it looks on when you're wearing it like this. I love how this looks. I think it looks really cool. If I like fold this out, it could be like a lion or something. But yeah, but I love how it looks when I'm wearing it this way. However, the way I tend to wear shawls most often is the traditional granny way, which is like this. And quite honestly, this just looks really dumb. It's flaring out, and I'll tell you why. If this is your first time watching, I added 10 extra repeats of chart. There's 3 charts for the edging, chart A, chart B for the center, and chart C for the other side. I knit 10 extra repeats of the edging charts for chart A and C. And unfortunately, this didn't really work out so well for the finished object. You can see it's waving. And that's because I didn't do any math to calculate the rate that this was decreasing compared to how it decreased and increased for the shawl, for the interior portion. Basically what I'm saying is the math was off and the math was on for the original way the pattern was written. I think that you could probably get by with knitting like 5 extra repeats, maybe-ish, of the border chart, but 10, it actually made the border circle into a full circle. So this could have been a pie shawl if I had left it, like it would have been, it made a full circle, the border made a full circle. So the math is off for how it's supposed to be when you lay it out flat. And blocking, unfortunately, I know is not going to solve that 100%, but I do think that it will help it a little bit. Not to mention that it's also, for how long it took me, feels quite small. Like it's you can't really see because I can't stretch it out the full way, but it's most definitely shorter than my wingspan by like several. I wonder if I can get it out. By a few inches. And so for as much time as it took me to knit this, I'm just really disappointed with how small it was. The border used 5.5 skeins of Brooklyn Tweed, which is 50 grams, and used about 2.5 for the center. So for as long as it took me to knit it, I am just kind of disappointed with the size for a regular granny wearing shawl. But since I can't really wear it that way anyway without it looking stupid, it actually does fit really well. Sorry, Mika's going crazy with my unwoven ends. It does actually fit really, really well in this kind of more modern style that we all tend to wear our shawls in, because it really like circles around your neck. So it's, I guess, a catch-22, right? I mean, I can't wear it the way I normally wear shawls. I feel like I can only wear it this way, but because it's so circular, it actually fits really well, dare I say better, this way than a lot of my other shawls do. So that's my thoughts on it. Would I knit this again? Hell no, absolutely not. I recommend the pattern just knowing what be aware what you're getting into when you're doing this border. It's a lot of cabling, a lot. So if you really love cables, great. If not, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Oh, and I love Brooklyn tweed. Look at this. Look how pretty it is. And these colors together even, oh, I love it. So I cannot wait to wear this to the Washington County Farm and Fiber Tour this year. Also being renamed to the Knit Local Getaway because they saw me cast it on last year. So now they will get to see the finished object, and I really am so proud of it. I was nervous when I first saw how the waving was happening when I was knitting the interior. I was just so disappointed. And I felt like I was probably never going to wear it and going to hate it. But now that it's been, you know, bound off and I can see how it actually fits when it's, you know, actually put on properly, but like this way or whatever, it fits like a dream when I'm wearing it this way. Just it's not the way I typically wear shawls because I don't really wear shawls out and about very much. I typically mostly wear them in my office when we're cold and just have them like slung over my shoulders, or at home around the house just to kind of keep me cozy. So that's the Heady shawl. I will report back next episode with how it looks after it's been blocked. But I do like the finished object. I just have mixed feelings about it. So it felt really good to bind off this really large project. And as I alluded to in the previous episode, I'm not going to wear it for the whole episode because it's honestly kind of hot here. And as I alluded to in the last episode of the podcast, socks, I love them. They're not going away. But I do feel myself wanting to knit something a little bit different. I've been knitting a lot of socks, and I still love socks. They're very portable, travel-friendly projects, especially for subway knitting, so they're not going away. But I do want to start, I feel like I was for a while there exclusively knitting socks, but now I kind of want to incorporate some more variety. Let me adjust here, sorry. Some more, but now I would like to think about incorporating more variety into my knitting again. I just kind of feel a changing of the season. So as you know, I had that beautiful, or as you know if you've been watching, if you do not know, I have a beautiful hand-spun Cormo yarn that I bought at the Washington County Farm and Fiber Tour last year. And I have about 960-ish yards, 900 yards, something like that, yards of yarn. And I was dying to make a sweater out of it. It took me forever to decide what pattern I wanted to knit, but I finally have found the one and I have cast on. So the pattern is Brookings by Olive Knits, otherwise known as Marie Green, I believe. Yes, Marie Green. Here is the sweater. It says a cabled jumper for crisp days, and it's not super loose like a lot of the sweaters I naturally gravitate toward, but it's a slightly more fitted sweater, and apparently I can get this sweater out of the yardage that I have. I'm a little bit skeptical, truth be told, but it's knit top down and in the round. So at the very least, I feel like this pattern is perfect for someone who has a limited amount of yardage, because you can kind of control, you know, like I could just make it a cropped sweater or a 3/4 length sweater. It's not knit in pieces, so I don't have to do any guesswork along the way and not know. So I feel like a top-down sweater knit in the round is the perfect project for this limited amount of yardage that I have. And it's cabled on the arms. And it's also got a lovely big cable like right down the center, and it's flanked by 2 smaller cables and panels of seed stitch in between. Not unlike socks that I've actually knit before. So perfect pattern I think for this project, and I started swatching for it a couple days ago. I saved the swatch to show you. I did not bind off the swatch, and I did not block the swatch because I have such a limited amount of yardage. I'm keeping every single bit that I can. This is the second swatch that I did. The first swatch, the pattern calls for several needle sizes that you'll use, some to do like ribbing, some for the body. It calls to knit a swatch in the largest needle, a size 8. I did not get gauge with that needle, so I had to drop down a needle size to tighten it up, and I got gauge with a size 7. And this yarn is just so beautiful. This one is looking a little bit, janky is not the right word, but it's looking a little worse for wear compared to the rest of the yarn, because this yarn, this particular yarn right here, has been knit and re-knit at least 4 times now. So it's kind of angry at me. So I'm going to very gently frog this and just kind of like let it breathe for a second before I work with it. So I cast on the sweater with a different ball of yarn in my size 7 needles. Here is this gorgeousness. Oh, it's so soft and velvety, different from merino, but just as soft. I love it so much. It is a joy, an absolute joy to knit with this. I love it. It's so wonderful. And I have cast on and have just gotten started. So, got all my stitch markers there, started some of the cabling. The pattern, I will say, I do not think, if you're trying to knit your first sweater, I wouldn't pick this one for your first sweater. It definitely assumes that you're very good at reading your knitting, which by now I feel that I am, but if you're not very good at reading your knitting especially, I don't think this is the pattern for you, because it does a lot of knit the knits and purl the purls in here, and it's not exactly clear, especially in the beginning, so you have to be very good at reading your knitting to do this pattern. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and this is just, it's a criticism because I'm a graphic designer and this is sort of my job, but please, I beg of you, this is a paid for pattern, but I'm not giving away, there's, I don't know how many pages, like tons of 8 pages in here, so showing you this I don't think is going to be that big of a deal. For all of you pattern designers out there, please take off this justification of your text. Justifying your text is like that button you can push in Word or PowerPoint or whatever that makes the text go to the end of every line, and except for the last line when you hit a return, and it makes your text look neater, like these blocks of text, but it's incredibly difficult for your eye to read and to follow. Like, you don't really realize it until you're like reading 2 different texts and see the difference when it's just all, like left aligned. You can't really tell unless you're reading side by side like the way you would a normal book versus a justified text, body of text. But when you're reading everyday literature, it's hardly ever justified, and it's difficult to remember where you are when it's so much easier when, I'm sorry, I'm doing such a bad job of explaining this, but let's just suffice to say I'm not going to get into like nerddom designer, because I'm trying to like dumb down the language a little bit and not use like this designer crazy vocabulary to confuse everybody. But long story short, pattern designers, please do not justify your text. It makes it really difficult to read. Also, I feel like there's a lot of missed opportunities for using visual cues like bolding, like even if it's just the start of the row, or for every row there's like a different portion within that row for left front, left sleeve, back, right sleeve, and right front. None of that is like very well separated like within the text. It's just like the beginning of the line. Nuh-uh. Like bold, italicize, do something to like differentiate it to make it easier to read your patterns. Better yet, pay me to do it. Like, I'm a graphic designer, so if you're a pattern designer who especially writes a lot of patterns, get in touch with me and I'm sure we could work something out that you'll be very happy with, and that your people who knit your patterns will be much happier later on with that. So that's just a gripe I have about this pattern, because I keep getting lost. I haven't made several mistakes, but I could be going so much faster if I didn't have to like stop and like count and figure out where I am within each line. Other than that, I am enjoying the pattern. I'm enjoying the yarn. I just cast it on this morning while watching Maria Stitch in Sweden's latest episode, and I'm really liking it. If you like written patterns, it's great for you. I actually do prefer charts myself, and there's not any charts except for the cable panels. So I do wish that it was charted. It's easier, again, I feel, to read the knitting that way or to read the pattern. But that's just a personal preference, and it's not gonna make or break it. So I am very excited, though, to be knitting this Brookings sweater again by Olive Knits. And I think it's gonna be really beautiful. I honestly, like, I'm not racing through this episode or anything, but I keep thinking, like, I'm just dying to, like, knit this, you know, so I can't wait to be done recording so that I can get back to this project. I'm really excited. I think it's going to look really, really pretty, and this yarn is just 100% cloud-like and luscious, really. Yeah, I love it. I would love to be finished with this before I go to the Washington County Farm and Fiber Tour this year. It's at the very end of April. If I'm monogamous with this project, I think I could do it. You know, it's like a worsted weight yarn, so I feel like it would go pretty fast. We'll see. Excuse me. We'll see. But I'm not holding myself to that or anything, but I think it would be cool to have a significant portion of this done to be able to take with me and to show them, and also to show the nuns at St. Mary's on the Hill who spin this yarn as part of their practice. So very excited, love this project. It's been a while since I felt like Kristen from the Yarngasm podcast frequently uses like a project that's really bogarted her knitting, and I kept feeling really like jealous almost of her and a lot of people that I felt were kind of experiencing that title of like being really taken over and bogarted by a project, because it's been a while since I've really felt that with any of my projects. I like everything I work on, but not in the way where I'm at work and like dreaming about going home so I can work on it. Like I'm dreaming about being finished recording this episode so I can work on this project. So it's really exciting to kind of feel that like it's stronger than a word mojo. It's just like this drive to like really like work on a project. So I'm really, really excited that something like as beautiful as this yarn has really reinvigorated my interest in this project. So I feel really good about that. I was kind of concerned about it for a while, and because it just doesn't feel good that when something is so regular in your life and all of a sudden it's not making you feel the same way it did before. I think it also is the pressure to find the right pattern for this project. It did take me a while. I sifted through hundreds of patterns before I finally found this one. I was like, you know, I think that's the one it's got to be. So thank you all so much for your wonderful suggestions. I actually almost cast on a different one. Somebody suggested a Debbie Bliss pattern, but it wasn't available on Ravelry and I couldn't find it on her website anywhere. So this is the one that ended up being, and I couldn't be more excited about it. So really cool to have something just like really take over, and like I can't wait to work on it. That is all I'm going to show you for the knitting projects. I have been really sick actually the last week, so I didn't really get a whole lot of knitting done or actual crafting done, minus finishing the Heady shawl, which, as we all know, feels like a major accomplishment. So I haven't really got a whole lot of progress to show you. I did not work anymore on my By the Seine, or Seine, however you pronounce it, By the Seine River socks. I will cast on that second one eventually. I just haven't had a chance to yet. So I haven't had any other projects cast on. I'm feeling good about the amount of whips I have. I really want to dedicate all of my energy to that sweater. So we'll see what it kind of gets cast on and cast off. Although I will say, and let me grab the bag real fast, 1 second. So if you've been watching the podcast for a while, you will probably recognize this sock. This is a very modified version of the Gladys sock, and I'm sorry, the pattern designer's name is eluding me at the moment, but this is knit out of the Wool Barn in her tweed base in the cozy colorway. I absolutely love this colorway, and looking at the sock now, maybe I don't want to frog it, but you can see where I'm going with this. I'm thinking I want to frog it and knit something different out of it. For some reason, I'm just not feeling the drive to knit it. I don't know what it is. This pattern, this kind of that I have going right here would be on the side. So this Guernsey style, you know, thing would be on the top, and then this pattern would be on the side of the leg. And I like it. I like this pattern that I've kind of sort of come up with, but for some reason I'm just not. The big thing, honestly, is that I don't like this contrasting color cuff. I wish I had done the whole thing in this cozy colorway, and I just really want a pair of really cozy, as the name would imply, socks with this yarn. For some reason I'm thinking about ripping it out and knitting Hermione's everyday socks with it, or maybe Mina's Grand Central pattern of her New York sock collection club. I love that Grand Central pattern. It's gorgeous. She just released her next one today, actually, and it's called Avenues. Really cool. I'm loving that New York sock club. That's by Mina Phillip, by the way, who is the knitting expat. But for some reason, I'm just not drawn to knitting this, and every time I pick it up, I knit a couple rows, toss it aside, and then I don't pick it up again for like a week or so. So something about this, it's just not right. I will probably end up frogging this and knitting something different with this gorgeous yarn, because that yarn deserves to be something really beautiful, and if I'm not going to knit it, then what's the point, you know? So that's all the knitting that I have to show you for today, and now we're going to move into Spoolish Games, which is the sewing segment of the podcast. I have acquired, I don't even know where to start, quite a few things, mostly in the lingerie making department. So as you have probably seen if you've watched this episode before or follow me on Instagram, I have sewn this bra. This is the Boylston bra, a pattern by Orange Lingerie, and for a first attempt I am incredibly happy with it. I think there are definitely some things I could do to improve it, but for now I really like how this turned out. Loved the whole process of sewing bras. I'm completely addicted. If you love detail-oriented work, definitely give it a shot. It's not as complicated as you think it's going to be. Or at least I didn't think so. And I have very limited experience sewing garments. Most of my sewing was like curtains and quilts and like straight things, so things that fit a three-dimensional space like a body are something I've really only started doing within the past 6 months, really. So I do have sewing skill. All this to say, I do have sewing skill, but not when it comes to garments. So it's really not as difficult as you think it is if you just follow the pattern. I loved how this turned out, and I'm dying to sew another bra, so I ordered a kit from the Tailor Made shop, which is the same kit that I used for this pattern. The Tailor Made shop, you guys. Unfortunately, I know it costs a lot for shipping if it's international, but if you live in the United States, you really cannot beat her aesthetic and taste when it comes to the stretch laces and notion. Just everything she has is just excellent quality. There is this gorgeous scalloped lace that she had on her website, and it sold out really fast. Like, I saw it and I was like, oh, I'll just wait, I'll buy some eventually, but I really do want that. And then when I finally did go back to purchase it, it was all sold out. So I emailed her or messaged her on Instagram and asked if there was any possibility that she was going to be able to get more of this in, because I really, really wanted it. And if she did get more of it in, if she could put it in a kit, maybe with peach stuff or peach contrasting fabric if she felt so inclined, but not important, because I was a very, very new lingerie garment sewist, so it's best for me to have everything in the kit so I know I have everything and don't have to source all of the materials separately. And she said that in fact she was getting more of this in and that she would be happy to put together a kit for me, and so she did. So I bought another kit to do another bra. And this is the gorgeous scalloped lace. Don't you just love this? I do. I am obsessed with this. I love it so much. And the plan is to make another Boylston bra so that I can improve on what I learned from the first one and make one that I will actually wear out more often. The reason I don't wear this one out as much is because I prefer a little bit of foam cupping in my bras. It just makes me feel more comfortable. And this one doesn't have that. So this is great for just like loungewear around the house. But if I'm like going out, I feel like I need more there. So I bought some bra foam, which she also sells, so that I can make cups for this second bra. I do think it's too late to make one for this. I'll look into it, but maybe I could, since I actually left the top, or I didn't, but maybe if I unpick this top part here, I could cut a cup and insert it in, kind of like swimsuit tops do in some sports bras. So I could find a way potentially, hopefully, to modify this so that I could insert a cup into it. But for sure I will make a foam cup for this next version. It's very, very tempting to not sew the Harriet bra by Cloth Habit, which is gorgeous, and I love the style of that bra so much. But I feel like I should just stick with the Boylston because I can improve on what I've learned with this one, make another one, and the Harriet bra will always be there for me. So this is the kit that I got, the black scallop laces I showed you, and it's kind of got peach and nude contrasting fabrics for things like the power net for the sides, and then she also included peach and nude and some black pico elastic and strap fabric, which isn't actually as important for the Boylston bra because you don't really see a whole lot of the strap, it's on the back, but I digress. So she sent a lot of really gorgeous materials, made a beautiful kit for me, and I'm very grateful. Go check out her shop if you're interested in making a bra, because you can get everything you need in one go, and the price is really reasonable. This was $25 for the whole thing. So that's TaylorMade shop. Do be aware that you do have to buy your underwires separately. I went ahead and got 2 sets because I figure I'll probably be making another bra in the future, so I did get that. And then also from the TaylorMade shop, 2 more things. She sells these amazing grab bags, as she calls them, and they're like surprise bags. You don't know what's going to be in them, and they're $5 for this really great grab bag of like things like pico elastics, this purple, I got this peachy nude one, periwinkle and blue, this is strap fabric, more pico elastic, and this hot pink, black, this one's really thin though, so I'm not sure exactly how I'd use that, underwire channeling, more strap fabric, although I'm not really attracted to white in bras. Maybe I'd make an all white bra though, that could be pretty. More underwire channeling, and then some scrap fabrics. You really don't need a whole lot of fabrics when it comes to making bras, so it's great for scraps. This stretch lace, power net mesh in this peachy nude color, this gorgeous kind of cream colored satin, a stretchy black mesh fabric. Oh wait, no, that's cup lining maybe. I'm not exactly sure what that fabric is for. But then this one is like a stretchy knit fabric that I could probably make underwear out of or something. But yeah, so all of that for $5. It is a great price. Of course, the downside is you can't pick out exactly what you get, but the quality, like I said, of all the things she sells anyway is amazing, so I had no reservations whatsoever about ordering from her. She has excellent taste. She lives close, if not in New York City, she lives in New York somewhere, so she lives close by, so I wonder if she sources, where she sources her materials. I do know that she did go on a trip to Japan and got a lot of Japanese stretch laces, vintage Japanese stretch laces, and they're, again, very reasonably priced. So, TaylorMade shop. And then the last thing I ordered from her is this fold-over elastic. You might recall, you might recall that I had sewn up this Chloe thong by Evie Lalouve, is the pattern designer. And in order to make it fit, I haven't, tried it on or anything, it's not finished, but in order to make this fit, I'm showing you the wrong side, whatever, doesn't matter. You need this fold over strap elastic to kind of cinch in the waist so it's kind of lines the waist and then the legs portion of it. So you need this fold over elastic to finish that project. And so she just started selling fold over elastic at the TaylorMade shop, so there you go, because like saves me a trip to the garment district, which is amazing but crazy. If you don't know what you're looking for, it can be kind of overwhelming. And then this I just wanted to show you. I didn't order this just recently. I ordered this, actually no, I didn't order this. My mom got this for me for Christmas from the TaylorMade shop. This gorgeous lilac lace that eventually I will turn into a bra. Maybe I'll use this for my Harriet bra by Cloth Habit. But I was very excited to see that in the grab bag she sent me some purple and lilac colors, so I'll have some amazing fabrics to use with this lilac lace. So really excited about that. TaylorMade shop, can't go wrong, honestly, with things that you get from her. The last two things I want to talk to you about are a make-along that is happening and some future sewing plans that I have. So Sarah of the Yarns at Yinhu podcast, my personal favorite podcast, she's going to be hosting a summer top make-along, which basically you can knit or sew or, you know, craft summer tops. And I'm deciding I'm definitely want to partake in this make-along, and I will be doing probably two patterns. The first one is one that you've already seen me make on the last episode, McCall's M6751. I made variation A for the last one. It was a cropped version, but I definitely want to make another one, either the same top or another one of the awesome variations that this pattern has. So definitely will make another one of these. And then the other pattern I'm really interested in is the Sorbetto top by Colette Patterns. It's currently, I don't know if it always will be, but it's currently at least a free download from Colette Patterns. Again, it's called the Sorbetto top, and it's a really great pattern with amazing variations. It's a tank top or a sleeved pattern. It can come in a tunic length or a shorter length. So I think I'm going to make probably two of those, honestly, like a tank version and a sleeved version. I've already started fabric shopping. But yeah, so I'm really excited to make that. I'm looking into some chiffon fabrics now, and if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen this really great interaction between Julie of the Sweet Sparrow Yarns and Sweet Sparrow Knits podcast. There's this really great fabric that's black and it has pugs all over it, and then I went to go buy the blush, just solid blush color, because I love blush and neutral colors, and they were sold out, and I was like, no, it's sold out. And she said, I think you just summed up our greatest shopping nightmare in one sentence. And yeah, that was just really funny. So go give that pattern a look. I'll probably be making that for the summer top make along. And again, another of this McCall's M6751, because it was such a success, fits really well. I can't wait to make another one. It's so fast, tops are so fast. So yeah. All right, the next thing I wanted to show you, this is a really special project, and I don't even know where to start with it, but I'm very close to having 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Right now I'm about 150 people away from it, and I've been putting together this quilt for the Quilt Along series, which I'm loving seeing your projects come together, guys. So keep the photos on Instagram coming, tag me in them, hashtag with Brooklyn Knitfolk QAL. The Ravelry group is alive and thriving, so for any kind of advice or, you know, showing your progress, that's like the place to be. So loving seeing that come together. But I had a lot of extra squares left over from my own quilt project, and I decided to make another quilt with them. And it's going to be, it's not finished yet, but here it is. It's a lap quilt size. I forget what the final measurements are for it, honestly, but you can see there, and then the other side is like this. I'll probably add a border to it to make it just a little bit larger, but it's a great little throw on the couch, you know, snuggle up to. This is going to be the prize for the 5,000 subscribers giveaway. And maybe that's like a little crazy and over the top, but as much as you guys have changed my life, nobody deserves it more than you. So thank you so much. Once I get to 5,000 subscribers, then I will open up a thread for it, but this is going to be a prize for that. And then, last but not least for sewing, a couple acquisitions. 2 patterns. First one is this Very Easy Vogue V9197. I just love that. It's for knits fabrics, I'm pretty sure. Oh no. Crepe, ponton, oh okay, so it's actually both. Crepe, pontonite, stretch wovens, and crosswise stripes. So I think you can use both. That pattern. And then this, McCall's M7120, which I got because I got this dress and another dress that are very, like they're the same dress, just different colors. And it fits so well and they're so comfortable. I'm gonna try to stand up and show you because this pattern, while I feel like, you know, these two are probably the closest to it, maybe I could find a pattern that's even more similar than this one. So if you have pattern suggestions for the dress I am wearing, which I'll stand up and show you in just a second, pattern suggestions, please let me know because I would make like 100 of these. They're so comfortable. So it's a short sleeve top. It has a zipper right here, but I'm not fussy about it having the zipper or not. And there's no darts or bust shaping in it. It's basically a stand up. So I can show you the back. It's a shorter dress. 2 pieces of fabric for the front and the back. Sleeves. Actually, no, there's not separate sleeves. So it's just 2 pieces. A front and a back and this rope or this tie. So if you guys know of any patterns off the top of your head that would fit the bill for this dress, please let me know because I love it and they're comfortable. And this one's okay, like I said, but it's not exactly the same because it does have like darts shaping for the bust. And I'm sure this is very easy, but again, I just kind of want to get as close to this as possible. So if you have pattern suggestions for me for a dress like this, please let me know in the comments below or in the episode thread on Ravelry. So those 2 patterns is acquisitions. And then now I think we can move into regular acquisitions, knitting and magazine and etc, and I'll show you all the things that you wonderful people have sent me as giveaways to share with all of you, so that's amazing. So in no particular order, I purchased this Taproot magazine inspired by Sarah of the Yarns at Yenhu podcast, who knit these adorable hens. I'm normally not attracted to toys or knitted toys or cutesy little tchotchkes. It's just like not really, it's not my thing. But when I saw these, they're called 3 French Hens, the pattern's by Susan B. Anderson. Honestly, who could resist? Look how cute those are. I have to have them. I have to knit them. And if they're a pattern by Susan B. Anderson, you know they're gonna be good. It's gonna be a great, easy pattern. And they're so adorable. Yeah, so I basically purchased this issue of Taproot specifically for that 3 French Hens pattern. But the issue theme is called Weave. So there's a lot of really great, other great articles in here, great recipes. There's like a chicken and mushrooms recipe that looks amazing that I can't wait to try. Yeah, here it is. Pan roasted chicken with mushrooms and cream. And for anyone who is vegan, they give a cashew cream recipe, so you could just do like the mushrooms. God, it's so weird, like mashing up words right now. Mushrooms and the cashew cream and leave out the chicken if you wanted to, but doesn't that look delish? Yum. Yeah, so gingered parsnip soup with pears and hazelnuts. Damn, that sounds good. Cinnamon braids, like, can you believe it? I just can't. So the recipes in this alone: whole wheat garlic knots, challah bread. Yeah, so for the recipes, that 3 French Hens pattern, They give recipes for bitters in here, which I've honestly been dying to try because I really want to not get into it, but learn how to make better cocktails, I guess, at home. I just kind of want to try, especially those of the jalapeno margarita variety. And if that wasn't enough, a hat pattern by Andrea Mowry, who is of course all the rage right now with her Find Your Fade shawl, but this is the quill hat pattern that's in here. So this issue of Taproot Weave, excellent purchase. Could not recommend this highly enough. I'm really, really excited to have gotten a copy of this. I sought it out for that Three French Hens pattern by Susan B. Anderson. There's a lot of other really, really great stuff in here. I have purchased an issue of Taproot in the past, and I liked it, but I wouldn't say I was like obsessed with it. But I don't know, now I'm wondering if maybe I'm at the level where I'd like subscription. I'm thinking about getting a subscription to it. I think it's a yes. I think I really do need to get it. So I'll look into that, but for now, yep, just purchasing individually. So that's the first acquisition. The next acquisition was a lovely gift. So get your yarn wishes granted. That happens around Christmas time, where people post a hashtag of what they would think of as their yarn wish, and then you also grant other people's wishes, is the idea. And the lovely Leah of, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, maybe it's Leah, or I think it's Leah, who is Alinor, A-L-I-N-O-R 89. Go check out her Instagram feed, because her Instagram feed is one of those like super, super beautiful ones, like Mandarin. She granted my yarn wish for La Bien-Aimée, but then I moved in between, and then she got busy, and La Bien-Aimée wasn't stocking a whole lot because they were doing so many yarn festivals, so I'm just now getting it, but it was worth the wait. Look how gorgeous this is. It's a single ply yarn, and the colorway is called Romance. I die. Look at this beautiful speckling. I can't. For some reason, my first thought is that I want to make another exploration station out of it, which coincidentally, I have my other one right here. I have it out over here because I literally wear this all the time. This is the Exploration Station, a pattern by Stephen West. It was initially a mystery shawl pattern, but it's obviously released now. And it's the most wearable shawl. I get so many compliments on this. I mean, the colors I feel probably add a lot to that because I really love the colors I picked, but it's just such a wearable shawl, and the right weight and size and mixture of the colors together. I just love this design, and I always said, even after I knitted, that I could definitely see myself knitting this again. I don't say that very often about patterns, but I think this is a skein of yarn that I could build an entire color palette around for another exploration station. The other thought I had in my head was the Snow Melt shawl by Helen Stewart of the Curious Handmade podcast. That pattern sort of reminds me of Exploration Station in that it so nicely blends the colors together and has different sections to keep your interest. It looks different from this, but I really love that shawl for those reasons. So I'm also thinking it could be a Snow Melt shawl by Helen Stewart. And Danny of Little Bobbins has knit a gorgeous one, and after seeing hers, that kind of is what pushed me over the edge. So I might knit that with this, but anyway, building a color palette around this for a shawl. It has to be done. It will be a shawl. Whether it will be for me or for a gift, I don't know. It would be really hard to part with this, but I do have another skein in my stash from the Wool Barn. Actually, it's a single ply that I know already would go perfectly for this, but I bought that other skein as a gift for somebody else because it's like her color, but I digress. We'll see. So this was a beautiful acquisition sent to me by Leia. She also sent me a handmade project bag, which I love this fabric. The interior fabric is this kind of red linen box bottom with the black. It's a perfect like 1 or 2 skein project bag. Drawstring, I love drawstring project bags. So I'm in love with this. Like, the construction is just beautiful, sewn so well, and the stitch detail of these like little leaves to go with the leaf fabric and the red and black. I really like it. She has excellent taste. Like I said, her Instagram, if you follow, you'll see. And then, in addition to some chocolate, which is long gone, she also sent me these gorgeous minis to put into my granny stripe blanket. So thank you so much, Leia. An incredible gift. I love everything. This yarn is everything though. It's like my taste exactly. I love this. I'm so weird. I'm really excited about this yarn, but you guys know. After seeing everybody's from Edinburgh Yarn Festival, so jealous, but then I got this one, so I was like, I got it too, and I didn't have to go. Although I really would have loved to. Who would not have loved to go to Edinburgh? All right, the next things, I think everything else I'm about to show you is giveaway fodder. So yay, so exciting. The first one I'll show you, actually since I've already shown you the first project bag. So, dun, dun, dun. Knitting with Attitude, Donna. She got in touch with me and asked if I could, if she could send me a project bag and send one as a giveaway, and I said yes, of course. I love sharing the things you make. Donna Schmidt, this is her logo and contact info, knittingwithattitude.com. This is the bag I picked for myself. It just reminds me of the Secret Garden. I love it, and right now it's holding my sweater project, my Brookings sweater. It's got this super cute progress keeper on it as a zipper pull. These bags are so well made. They're definitely one of those ones that stands up on their own. I'll show you. Stands up on their own. It has interfacing, some thicker interfacing in it, a great handle. So if that's kind of more your speed, I have only one other project bag that does that, and it's my Zelda bag, Cat's Kettle, that was holding my Heady shawl for the longest time. And I love that bag. It's so sturdy and like really just like well made, but still malleable and squishy. You can put it in the bottom of, in a bag and squish it up, but it will definitely stand up on its own, jostling it, not falling over, you can see. So this is an excellent 1 or 2 skein project bag. This is the one she sent for a giveaway. It has a pocket on the inside, a like double thickness pocket too. I'm telling you, she does not skimp on the quality with these bags. You'll see, or if you order one or if you win it. But knittingwithattitude.com, Donna's website for project bags. Go check it out if you would love some like really, really nice project bags. These are excellent. So this will be a giveaway at some point. Like I said, I don't want to release everything all at once because I don't want to like overwhelm you guys. I'm going to start with 2 pattern prizes that have recently been donated, but eventually Ravelry will be the place to be to enter to win everything that I show you. So I'll open up threads on Ravelry, just check in every once in a while to see if there's a new thread open to enter a giveaway. I'll usually give you a heads up though before I put in a thread so that you know. So this one is not going to be like right now, but eventually it will be. And then the next prize donation Grace, who has she's Little Minky 93 on Instagram. She has the Catnip Yarns yarn company. She sent 2 skeins of her hand-dyed yarn. This one is called Hedwig, Harry Potter inspired. Love, love, love. And this beauty is called, oh, what is it called? Tiger Lily, I think. Sorry, the labels have fallen off of them. This one's Hedwig. Where's the other one? I'm pretty sure it's called Tiger Lily. Pretty sure. I don't know where the label went, but I'm almost positive it's called Tiger Lily. And this one is a single ply yarn. This one is a 2-ply with a twist. She doesn't have the yarn content on her labels, so I can't tell you exactly what's in them, but I assume it's a merino blend of some kind. Super stunning. Pink. This one's so fun. I love this. Pink and orange, lilac, hints of yellow in there. And then this one's kind of like a creamier white base, flecks of black, flecks of yellow and gray, and some red. Perfect Hedwig color. So these will be giveaways at some point. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep one or not yet. It's gorgeous yarn, but I have so much stash building up right now that I need to knit through, so we'll see. When I get to it, we'll see. I love them both though. It would be really difficult to part with either one of them, so I have no clue what I would choose, but sharing is caring, right? So those are the two skeins. Again, from Cat Knit Yarns. Here's her label. The little cat booty is adorable. Thank you so much, Grace. Gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. And then the next giveaway prize, which this will be specifically for the quilt along, so I should have probably showed you this earlier. But this is an anonymous donation that is a magnetic pin cushion, pin holder, and she sent this as a prize for the giveaway because it's not in the materials list, but for like a budding sewist, which is probably what this project, the quilt along, is more geared toward, it's like more likely that you don't already have this. So they're awesome. Magnetic, hold your pins. It's great. And then the last acquisition slash prize for you guys. So Carolyn Robin was inspired by a little speech that I gave a while ago. I think it was I don't even know. I don't remember. Basically just saying, do not let other people's success determine your own success or failure. If you want to dye yarn, dye yarn. If you want to start a podcast, start a podcast. If you want to sew project bags, do it. Don't let other people's success determine whether or not you even try. Like our greatest artists of all time, like what if they never painted? What if your favorite author never wrote books because they were, you know, scared to because of other success in the marketplace? It would be devastating, right? Don't let that stifle your own creativity. Just go for it. I cannot stress that enough with your own making. Just go for it. What is the worst that could happen? You have to rip something out, you have to throw it away, doesn't work the first time, you know? It happens. That's part of the creative process. So don't give up. Carolyn was inspired by that speech that I gave in a much longer detail, I guess, in a previous episode. And she has started her own Etsy shop. And oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so glad she did. And you will see why, because her yarn is so pretty. Wild Happy Color, hand-dyed yarn. And I don't want to take it out of the packaging because, again, I haven't decided which I'm going to keep, if I'm going to keep one, or if I should give it away and not be selfish. But this one is called Leopard Jasper. I hope you can see that through the packaging. It's like a cream color, heavily speckled goodness. So, so pretty. And there's a lavender sachet and some sort of macaroon something in there, which I love macaroons. I can't decide. I can't tell if it's like to hold progress keepers or stitch markers or what, but it looks cool. Leopard Jasper. And then the second one she sent me on a Stellina base is called Angel Aura. And this one is like a blue, green, yellow. So, so pretty. And on this Stellina base, it's like even more magical. And again, a little macaroon something, I'm not exactly sure what that is, and a lavender sachet along with a progress keeper, a little sewing machine. This one has an elephant on it. Wild Happy Color. When I opened her package, I was just so blown away by the quality of what you're getting in your package. These little extra touches, like, you know, the wrapping and the stitch marker that comes with it and the lavender sachet, the thank you sticker, it's just all so well done. And I love her logo too, Wild Happy Color. It's just really cute, really pretty, and fun. She also sent this mini skein, which I will likely keep. But yeah, I'm just blown away by the quality of this packaging in addition to the gorgeousness of the yarn. I haven't felt it yet, but it looks amazing. This one's an 80-20 superwash merino, and I think this one's 75-25 superwash merino, nylon, and stellina. And this one's I can't tell, is it gold or silver? Silver stellina. Gorgeous yarn, Wild Happy Color, run by Carolyn. Go check her out on Etsy. It's beautiful. So one of these at least, maybe one, maybe both, excuse me, will be a giveaway at some point in the future. I'll announce it all on Ravelry so you have all of the information. And then last but not least, 2 pattern prizes, which let me look up the names of them really quickly because I cannot remember off the top of my head. The first one is the Time After Time socks by Jess, who is the Sweater Collective on Instagram and Ravelry. You guys have probably seen her patterns before. She does a lot of really, really gorgeous modern, classic yet modern though, but more classic, I guess, patterns in general. And so she is donating a copy of her Time After Time socks. That will, excuse me, cough, sickness is not going away. That and the next pattern I will show you is going to be up for grabs in the Ravelry group. I have already opened a thread, go check it out. Same prompt as always because it's the most uplifting and fun thing to read. 3 good things that have happened to you in the past 24 hours. So I will open a thread for both of the patterns in the same thread, so you can just enter once to have a chance to win one of the prizes. The second sock pattern is the Bamboo Jungle Socks by Army Gal 97. So definitely go check out the giveaway thread, enter to win 3 good things that have happened to you in the past 24 hours. The sock patterns are gorgeous, obviously, and I hope you win. So the last thing I want to close with today is a quote. I'm bringing my computer in front of me here because I'm going to read from it. It's just a short thing. And I just think it's very appropriate for me in this time of my life, so I feel that if it's appropriate for me, it's probably going to be appropriate for other people. You know, it's just good to read. So here we go. And this is by a quote from Jeanette Winterson, who is a writer. When we make a change, it's so easy to interpret our unsettledness as unhappiness, or our unhappiness as a result of having made the wrong decision. Our mental and emotional states fluctuate madly when we make big changes in our lives, and some days we could tightrope across Manhattan, and other days we are too weary to even clean our teeth. This is normal, this is natural, this is change. I just found comfort in that, so I thought I would share it with you. I hope you guys have a great couple of weeks, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye. Bye. We're rolling.
What is that?
I'm shaking. Oh, so funny.
He keeps trying it. What a little trooper you are. Do you want some more?